Howdy folks, Cameron here, and welcome to a Cameron game theory video. This is where we speculate, strategize, and think about what happens in video games. Today we're talking about Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 4. As you know, Chapter 4 came out on Monday, but by the time this video is uploaded, that time will have passed, so let's get cracking on this chapter as much as we can. As you know, Bendy and the Ink Machine is a game where you play as a man named Henry. You're visiting your old boss, Joey Drew, at his studio, and in turn you find that it's full of Disneyland rip-offs. Let's recap on Chapter 3, and spoilers to anybody who hasn't played Chapter 4, go play it right now on Steam. Did you play it yet? No? Alright. At the end of Chapter 3, we are dropped into level S. S stands for storage. I thought about this being a recall back to Sammy Lawrence, the evil Bendy worshipper from Chapter 2. I later found out, no. S is for storage. Makes the most logical sense. Anyways, after you continue through the land, you come across ink dudes who are worshipping Bendy. This leads me to believe that these were old employees of Joey Drew. Clearly not good enough to get their own voice recording like many others we've seen so far. And it turns out that Joey had some plans to release a theme park made by the very happer-dashing British-like talking Bertram Pymont. We later find out that Bertram and Joey, they didn't seem to get along, and you end up fighting a mechanical giant robot version with his head inside. Man, this game is weird. Anyways, whilst trying to turn on one of the switches, you come across Norman Poke, the projectionist Norman Poke. Upon escaping, Bendy shows up and kills the projectionist. So I think we've seen the last of Norman Poke. Nearing the end of Chapter 4, you come across a giant Hulk-like Boris who fights you, and eventually Alice Angel comes out and is stabbed by another Alice Angel and Boris. I thought a lot about this, and I deciphered that this new Alice Angel is Allison, the replacement for those of you who haven't played Bendy and the Ink Machine. Alice Angel was one of the characters, and in Chapter 2, Susie Campbell was indeed her. But in Chapter 3, it's clear that Susie Campbell is Alice Angel, because of how crazy she is. As for Boris, this is probably the original Boris. And the Hulk was just more of, as we see in Chapter 3, Alice had a lot of Bendy, Boris copies, and so this leads us to a lot of questions. Who is the new Alice? Well, it's Allison. And who is this new Boris? For a long time I've assumed that the Boris you see as is the janitor, Wally Franks, who ends off all of his recordings by saying, "I'm out of here." One of my favourite characters. So if Boris really is Wally Franks, and so far everyone who's been on their voice recording has gotten their own story, so who could it be? So we have one partial question. Who is Bendy? I thought a lot about it, and there's only one person who hasn't gotten. We could deny that with the exclusion of Sean Flynn from Chapter 3, because that's clearly Jacksepticeye's voice, the one person who Bendy can only be is Joey Drew. Bendy equals Joey. So it's clear that Joey is Bendy and he's trying to kill you. And that's my theory on Chapter 4. The Alice that saves you at the end of Chapter 4 is Alison Pending, because she replaced Susie Campbell. But how did Susie Campbell become the scary Alice Angel? Simple. Very simple. Ink machine. If you have an eye, when the hands come during one of your images, when the hands come out of the wall, you can get a glimpse of the ink machine, or a ink machine. I thought a lot about it, and there must be another ink machine, because it's clear that how could there be this much ink if there was only one? So it's clear that Joey wanted. If you check the first voice recording of chapter 4 of Susie Campbell, you can hear that Joey had an opportunity for her. This turned her into the evil Alice Angel, and she has a split personality in chapter 3. One is the sweet Susie Campbell, and the other is the Alice Angel demon that possesses the ink. So it's clear that we have a lot to talk about. And Joey kept doing this theory with all of his other creations, like with Sammy Lawrence and Norman Polk. So that's my theory for chapter 4. Alison Pending is the new Alice Angel. Wally Franks is still Boris. Bendy is Joey, and Norman Polk the projectionist is dead. So if you guys have any thoughts or think I'm wrong, 1, 2, Bendy's gonna come for you. B5, we're just waiting for chapter 5. Boris, don't be